I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Arts and Cultural Commission, as we move through the process. So I'll go ahead and let, Secretary Ms. Murray do, a roll call. Yeah.
Tim Monroe. Right here. Liz Chavez,
Yeah.
Brooke Philpott. Here. Melanie Atkins.
Here.
And Meg.
Here.
And then, what you call this? And, okay,
Yes.
okay, all right. Thank you, Ms. Stephanie. All right, at this point in time, we're going to have a public, comment, time. Each, visitor, citizen who is visiting us this evening, who would like to say something or address us, has 3 minutes to speak. There will not necessarily be any action done to anything given to us tonight or a response, but we do in advance thank you for coming and joining us for this meeting.
Vanessa, do you want to go ahead and say who's in the room?
Oh, yes, sorry, 1 second. So let me say, we have 2 Zoom members who are with us this evening, and we're gonna go around the room so that they can see who everybody is. Supporting our is our chair, and that's what and then next we have,
Stephanie Martin, secretary.
Michael, staff liaison?
Melanie Atkins.
I'm Xander Baker, the designer of the city.
all right, and we have Desiree.
And I'm Susan Rana, and I'm going to speak.
Okay, and, all right, and so I'm gonna actually put that chair right there, and then they can kind of see at the same time while they're talking.
Okay.
And we have Liz Chavez, and we have Vicky. Vicky, pronounce your last name? Vicky, pronounce your last name, Vicky? You don't need. Yeah,
Just take a second, Price.
Bias, yes.
Right, yeah.
Vicky, by the way, is our newest member who was just appointed to the commission. All right, so at this point in time, we're going to allow our, citizen, 3 minutes to address the commission.
I just, thank you very much, and I just wanted to say a couple of things. I already saw it on the announcements at the end of your agenda that you have the event tomorrow night at the Catherine Ann Porter House. But I just wanted to mention it and invite you all, as well as all the citizens of Ohio, to come out and hear the author speak. Her name is Stacy Swan, and she's actually a Texan who's written a novel called Olympus, Texas. And she has a Master of Fine Arts from Texas State University. And usually at these events, they have books for sale, but you don't have to buy one. But if you do, you can get an autograph, or you can bring your own copy, or you can just hang out and enjoy it. Sometimes there's snacks and other things, and it's free to show up. The books are free, but you know. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. I have a couple extra flyers if anybody wants that. And I also wanted to thank Stephanie for coming out and reading for Kiwanis at our event recently on the square. It's about the first time she's done it, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, Stephanie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Ms. Sue. All right, and, 2 of them are on Zoom. Brooke just walked in, by the way, and Brooke can say,
I call from
yeah, 2 of our members are sick, so I set up Zoom, they will join us. All righty then. Moving on, next we are going to approve, oh, by the way, citizen comments are closed, I don't see anybody else. We do have a guest with that staff, and they're gonna be able to take questions.
I think I was that late.
All right, then, so, anyway, we're closing, the public hearing section, and we're moving on to the meeting now. And so now we're going to do the approval of minutes. Our, secretary had sent us the first 17 minutes, and then she revised them and sent them again out. And, she and I had a discussion, and one of the things we wanted to do is try to keep everybody's job a little bit easier is she will send the minutes out up to a week after our meeting. At that time, we ask if you have any changes, please send them to her. If you don't get the changes to her within that week's time, then wait until we have a meeting that night, our next meeting, and then you can bring forth changes that you want to have made at that time. Because we don't want to go into the minutes every week. We got other things to do, you know. So, anyway, so let's just kind of, and everybody's been pretty good about that. She gets them to us literally by the weekend, for the most part. So you'll have up until the following Thursday to submit any changes to her. Then if you notice a change, you missed that deadline, then when we get to our next meeting, you can bring it forth, and if there are any changes that need to be made at that time, she can do them, and then we can get them revised. So I know that there's been, there were some suggestions for the minutes, but you've already taken care of those.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be the revised, the one that I printed out, it should be the revised copy.
Yeah. All right, then if I think everybody's had opportunity to read through these, I'll give you all of 60 seconds to look at it one more time, and then we will go ahead and ask for approval.
So, real quick, just because I don't have them in front of me right now, were we able to add that I was taking on the logo project? So I know I didn't add it in time.
I wrote it down and I'm pretty sure, I don't think it was actually sent out that way, but I think we were gonna make it here.
Yes, that's correct. We were gonna make it here, so actually, we were talking about the idea of the logo, and I believe that went on a new business, not continuing business. So the idea is add another, a line or two under new business on the second page of new business, that Vicki was going to take our lead on the logo. Okay. Thank you, Vicki, for bringing that up. Yes, I remember you saying
I'll
that.
be better in the future.
No worries. No worries. And to address that also, we have a couple of questions, not Grant, but
Zane,
Xander.
Grant's my other guy.
There's the other guy. So Xander will be able to answer some of those questions too. So kind of when we start talking about the website as well as the logo, Xander is here from the city. He'll be able to give us some insights. Because we had some questions last time, which is why I asked the city to submit someone to us. Okay, so with that said, anything else needs to be added to the minutes? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask for board approval, I'm sorry, for commission approval on the minutes with edits. And we can go ahead and vote on that. All of those in favor of the.
So do you need a second? Is that the way that you need a motion to do?
No, not the minutes.
Okay.
Not the minutes. Yeah, all of you ask for approval and we either get a approval yes or no, but just only for the minutes, so.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for approval of the minutes. Those who are in favor of approval of the minutes with edits, please say aye. Okay, any nays? All right, so we do need one piece added to the minutes, and I'm gonna ask that Stephanie can take care of that, send it to you. And then, I know we'll have to have a signature. Do we have to have a signature and get them submitted, can we wait till the next meeting?
Well, then we'll we'll have to add that to the agenda to approval of the October minutes on the. I can go print it out then if you do that.
Okay, we can get it signed
Yeah.
before, okay, let's do that then. Sounds good. All right, take now. She has not texted me or called me.
Food's the most important part.
That's my thought.
All right, then, so we're next gonna move on to our discussion with our staff from the City of Kyle's Communications Office, and that is Xander. And I asked Rachel, the director, to come or have a representative come in and talk to us about ideas for the website for the Arts and Cultural Commission. And also a little bit of detail about a logo, if something could be done and what parameters we had. So let's talk about the website first.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm guessing y'all are just wanting to make y'all's art commission page a little bit more, y'all have
Artsy?
personality, exactly. So, we do have a lot of limitations with our website through Unicode, but we have a lot of freedom with smaller images that we can put in line with the text, as well as a banner image. So with the banner image, I would recommend if, there's any piece of art around town that y'all like, or even someone historically, we can put together a nice banner using things that y'all feel pertain to your commission. And I feel like having either art or a photograph of a historical spot around town would be pretty nice for that. And that's all something that would be really easy to edit in the website itself. The only thing that we really can't do with the website is change the font and the colors a whole lot. But with images, we have a lot of freedom with that. So if y'all do have some key images that you would like to add, we can absolutely help you out with that. I can even help with creating a banner image for the website as well. As for content for the text, we don't want to change anything like that because we have complete freedom over the text.
Okay. Liz, can you hear us?
Yes, and I have a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
So I know a couple of things we were wanting to include in the website
Mhm.
was like almost like a directory of all the local artists, as well as like a calendar of events or at least like showcasing, basically like how we do up to like the library event and the quilt show.
Mhm.
So I was just wondering, so we can have like a menu or anything like that that drops down into other web pages, or is that a possibility at all?
I wouldn't recommend it right now. We're actually trimming down websites to take away any kind of pages that can be condensed. What we can do is we can do what's called anchor text, to where we have links up at the very top that whenever you click on them, it'll automatically take you to that part of the website. So you can have like a directory and then a calendar underneath it, but up at the top, you'll always have the links to just jump to those parts of your web page.
So like a single page, and
Exactly.
then you can jump between the sections.
That's right, and then it's a lot easier as well to update the page because everything's in one place. You don't have to track down each individual website that's attached to the commission. So that's what I would personally recommend for it. And again, as long as we have content for that, we can help you out with that, no problem at all.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the tricky part is trying to ensure that the directory isn't goes too long and isn't like super long of a page. I didn't comment, and the other question I had was, so if there's like flyers made for anything, are we aiming at making out like smaller images? Could we do like any rotation of the images? So say if there's like 3 or 4, we can just like plug them in, whoever is by the library, whoever, and then have them rotating. Is that an option?
Unfortunately, now we don't have a carousel option with the website itself, only static images. I think the security thing due to Unicode being able to go back into and search all of the minutes that we have with any kind of council meeting and things like that as well. So it would have to be static images for all of that kind of stuff. However, if y'all do have a Facebook or something like that you can point to, I would definitely recommend pointing at any kind of social that y'all have on the commission site as well.
Okay. And then last question for now, how often, so say we do a calendar event, could we host like the month at a time? Or do you recommend against that because of how frequent you would have to update that?
Usually I go every quarter for anything that we do in the communications department. It just makes sure that you get everything done with it once, and that way if you do happen to miss it 1 month, you're not in hot water in that situation. Because you catch it just about every quarter, you'll think of it by then. If you go every single month, do any of y'all have access to changing the website for the commission at all?
I have,
Okay, so that would be something that if it was every month, I wouldn't really be able to help out depending on my workload is the biggest thing, but quarterly I can usually find any time to help out in case y'all didn't need it. But if it was just, plain text, y'all could do it as often as y'all wanted. I'd go every quarter though, unless y'all have something every single week.
So could we host like
3 different, basically like images of a calendar that then you can like plug in with text and update.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like at a commission meeting, you can take like 5 minutes, like one of the, what do I do that together?
Yeah. I would probably recommend just doing plain text rather than an image, just because of the way that they upload to the actual website. They uploaded about 72 pixels per inch, so it doesn't make text very readable. But any kind of images is where I would recommend using that. As for a calendar, I would just do a plain text calendar to where it would have the month, the date, and then a small description of the actual event itself. That way people can get a little bit of information about it. You can link to any kind of like Google Maps location. That way you can have directions right on there as well. You can plug a lot of stuff into the website to link out. But as for like images, they are going to be downgraded quite a bit. So I would recommend just sticking to images and no text on the images for that.
And I can add events to the calendar under the category of Arts Commission. So if we had events, I could just put it under there, and those entries will have better resolution for images and links to websites or Facebook posts or anything like that we could add.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is through our calendar, you can go down to the boards and commissions section of it, and you can apply just the art commission filter to it. So that way you just see art commission things on the website itself.
Yeah.
And you can actually grab that URL whenever you put on that filter and have a link on your website that just says, check out our calendar. And then whenever you click on that, it automatically goes to the city website with that filter already applied.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
That's what we do with for the library, and so we can just do the same thing for the Art Commission.
Yeah.
Liz, do you mind if I jump in with a question?
I'm sorry.
Do you mind if I jump in with a question? I didn't want to.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that was all the questions, just knowing those were kind of like our goals for the website that we previously talked about. But that pretty much answered it and helped me kind of identify. I did have some questions on communication about, because I'm going to build out a communications plan for December of just, introducing this and launching it once it's ready. So that way we can have that, I think about that. Sure, your question.
I just know that one of the things we had talked about a long time ago was doing like that artist spotlight on the website. And like either once a month or once a quarter, it sounds like maybe it might be easier, as highlighting an artist. And I wasn't sure if we needed to like develop a permission form or release form for like their images or their information, or the city requires or have something like that.
We don't require it, but I'd recommend it for the artists themselves, just to make sure that they are okay with their art being disseminated through, or disseminated. Any kind of avenue that you want. I would personally use social for that. If y'all don't have any social, and Instagram or Facebook would probably be a good idea to start with that, and then link out to that, because you'll get a lot more interaction in the community with social than you will with our actual website.
Okay. I guess that will me ask another question. Are we allowed to put like Google Forms on it? Because that's what I'm thinking we might use to build out a directory.
Yeah. So for forms, I know that we actually can create forms through the website itself. So that way it's native and you can export it out to an Excel file. So if you do want to create any forms, I can walk you through the process at a later date. It is a little bit harder to do, but you can also link out to a Google Forms, like for a survey or something like that, where they can, input themselves over the file. So if that's the case, you can always link out to it. You can't embed it very well is the only thing. The only thing you can embed well is going to be YouTube videos. That's the only thing we've really had luck.
So Liz, let me add that I'm hoping that at this point, you and Zach, Liz, you and Dan can get together. We'll get you guys to exchange information, and as your questions come up, and as you start actually putting together a prototype of a product for us, you can connect with him, and then when you're ready to bring something back to us, you can do that. So, if, so this time I wanted him to come and have a general conversation with him, but I also wanted him to connect with you so that you guys can do a one-on-one type thing, however you're gonna do it. And then you'll have your question answered, you'll be able to get a product out to us to review, and then we can move on from there. The other thing too, Liz, is that thing that we're gonna have posted, and me posted with Michael, we'll have direct connection to be able to do that to him, to get something ready and say, hey, guys, I want y'all to take a look at this, and either do it prior to the meeting or at the meeting that night, either way. But I just wanted to get the names and the faces connected with you on this particular project, so you can move forward with it. You good with that? Okay.
Yeah, those guys, I'll send those out, and outline it to start our conversation and any other questions that we have and connect with you soon.
Perfect. And then I'm always open to any kind of, video chat that you want to do, so that way we can both look at the website and I can help you build out any kind of things that you want to do, like those anchors, or even if you don't want to embed any video, any kind of form that you want to create, I can absolutely help with that.
The other thing you mentioned was the Facebook page, and, I'm gonna guess that maybe as a commission, we'll have a little bit more of a conversation about that at another time. Do we want an independent Facebook page? Are we allowed to do that, to have like an Arts and Cultural Commission Facebook page? Can we do that? Is that, how does that work exactly if that was the case?
That is a great question that I will ask Rachel about tomorrow.
Most likely what will happen is we'll create, it's what's essentially a business page. And so then you have to have a personal Facebook page to have admin rights over
Right?
the page. That's like what our library page is like.
Yes.
And so it's possible, because I know we have done it for the library. So maybe Rachel has more information on how to set that up.
Perfect. I wasn't sure if there were any like ordinances or anything for social media for any commissions or anything.
That's what I was asking. I didn't-
So, and there may be something specific, but probably what will end up happening is Rachel and I will have permissions to change that page. And then just like we're doing now, any updates or anything that needs to get added, just let me know. I put it up there.
Yeah. And the only,
Can I add to, we're gonna look, we probably need to get the overall social media policy, because if we're gonna go the social media route, which I think is great, and I think that's probably something that's a little bit, we're gonna get a little bit more response and interaction with the public doing that, but we'll also wanna look at all platforms to see what media we can use.
Yeah. Especially for visual stuff we want to do.
So we should be on, and if we can be on 10 different ones, let's be on 10 different ones.
Especially since we'll have such visual presence, probably it'll end up being Facebook and Instagram, which you can edit at the same time.
That's what I think too, and they connect together, but the other great thing is I think that would probably solve for them only having the static images on the website. Then we've got the rotating images every time there's an event, we can really build up our social media presence.
Yep.
the only hard part is once you do start that social media, then posting to it, at least 3 times a week is kind of necessary. Otherwise you do get buried in the algorithm.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. More questions, commission members? Website questions? As we're having a discussion. And Tara's joined us.
Yes, sorry.
The whole gang's on here. All right then. So Liz is on lead with Facebook. And Liz, I'm also thinking the idea of looking at, I'm sorry, I said Facebook, I mean website. We can talk a little bit more about either Liz doing Facebook as well as website, or we give Facebook to somebody else. But right now, we know Michael's going to be our key person to be able to, our key person, I just said company, our key person to do that. But content is going to be the piece that we need to have discussion about. When will that change? What should it be? Et cetera, et cetera. So that can just be on our radar of things that we need to have on our to-do list, is what content is going to be on that Facebook. Liz, are you okay doing the Facebook piece too, or you want to do just the website?
I prefer to stick with the website.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
I'd like to propose that we, put Facebook and Instagram, and all social media on next month's calendar.
Okay.
So they can opportunity to get the policy and find out who can own it, because if one of us owns it, then leaves the committee that kind of leads everybody in the works. So I know there are ways that we need to set these pages up behind the scenes to make sure that they continue to flow. So I propose that we have the social media conversation at our next meeting, so that we gather information.
I work on social media for a couple different companies, so I know how to set admins and change all that kind of stuff.
All right, well, we will put that on the next agenda. I know I do.
The good news is they have pretty robust scheduling tools, so we can set it up pretty well in advance. Just kind of push the updates out.
All right, Liz, more questions about the website for now? You good? You can get with Xander.
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, good deal. Okay, so while we have Xander here, we're also gonna have just a little bit of a discussion about logo. Our last meeting, we talked a little bit about the idea of what policies are involved with logo, where would the logo will go? Do we need a logo? All those kinds of questions. So tell us along that ground, what's going on.
So this is my favorite stuff right here. This is what I do. So I would personally recommend y'all have a logo if y'all are reaching out to a lot of artists and if y'all are going to be putting things out to the public. It makes you look official and it's the brand that you can always follow. So what I would recommend for you guys is to start thinking about how you want to position yourself out there. Are you guys the artists in the commission that y'all are creating the art, or are y'all just bringing the artists together?
My understanding is that we're bringing the artists together.
Oh.
So they're kind of the glue that's going to stick everybody into different spots.
Gotcha. So I would definitely find out exactly what you're trying to communicate with the logo. And from there, just make sure that it's readable in half-inch by half-inch square. Those are the two main things. You can, there are plenty of YouTube videos about how to make a readable logo. And a lot of the times it's just contrast. Contrast and size are the big things. Not trying to do too much. Edit yourself down as far as you can. I'd recommend a logo. It doesn't need to be anything specifically extravagant.
Do you make logos?
That's all that I do. Well, not all that I do, but it's my favorite thing that I do.
That's your favorite. Did you hear that, Vicky? He says he likes to make logos.
One thing that we talked about last time, we did talk about the possibility of engaging the public and asking them to be part of the logo process, kind of a contest for creation. But as you're saying that, I'm wondering if we should pivot from that so that we can get a logo sooner rather than later. What if we did something like had you create 2 or 3 options, and then we put it out to the public on our website for possibility to vote on it, and then we make a decision after that. It could be something that we do through social media too. And I mean, if we get 3 people vote, that's great, that's still 3 people, or if we get, 100 people vote, that would be great, but it's still giving the public kind of a buy-in to our committee.
Yeah, I would personally say that y'all can be the ones deciding, because y'all are the ones that are driving this commission in the direction that you like. I'm not a huge fan of the competitions or anything like that, just because the public doesn't have the same goals as y'all. They're not the ones that are going to be, on this commission. Some of them will, but for the most part, y'all are the ones that are going to be making these decisions, and it's going to be y'all's voice in this market itself. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with that. That sounds like a lot of fun and a really fun project. What's the timeframe y'all are looking at this for?
Yesterday.
So if you can time travel, that would be great.
So let's look at January 2023.
That's perfect. January and February are my kind of slower times because we're in between a lot of events. So that would actually leave me pretty open to help you guys out. One thing y'all can do to help out is to kind of do a little bit of research and find marks that y'all like just a style. It can be a sports logo, it can be a logo for a fast food place even. Just the kind of feel that y'all want in that logo. That helps me out tremendously, so I'm not just, throwing a bunch of darts at the wall.
Okay. Go ahead, Dixie. Go ahead.
How about we do this? Put everybody on a committee between now and next meeting. Send me, email me, hey, pictures or links to things that you like, I'll compile them. We'll talk about it at our next meeting, and then Xander, I'll be able to kind of give you a creative brief and a direction to go in that's a little bit more formal and easier to follow. And then we can just move from there, and then you can bring back, you take a look at the edits and things like that.
Oh, you're gonna make it so easy on me.
It's my day job.
Good.
Does that work for everybody else? That way, it's concise, it comes to me, comes back out, and I'll put together something for the next meeting, we can make a decision and go on.
I like it. I like it. Anybody else?
Thumbs up?
Everybody good? Okay. You know, we've talked a couple of times about the idea of having the public kind of involved. And, you know, one of the things we talked about was a survey, something we could ask the public about in regards to the commission. Might I put that on the table at a later date, that once we get this social media and stuff out, we look at some kind of survey that we can put together, asking the community, what are they interested in from our perspective? And that's how we get them involved, and then we can take that information and be able to use that as need be. So y'all good with that? We'll just put that on there, so that survey. And, I was a little bit concerned also about trying to get the community to do a logo, because that's a lot of time, and we want, and as Brooke just said, we wanted it yesterday, so. So we're looking at January, February, having something ready to go out, which should kick off the new year also.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that we have our new name, right?
And we got t-shirts made.
So yeah,
Stickers.
Yeah.
Stuff all over there.
we gotta sell merch, you know.
So, all right, so ladies, we have our website lady, we also have our local lady, they're gonna take the lead on this project for us. Y'all have any more questions for them?
Do you need your email?
Yeah, let me give you guys my email. It is baker@cityofkyle.com. So that's baker@cityofkyle.com.
Oh, Baker, it's Baker.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Baker.
Like a butcher, a baker.
That's right.
Okay, just leave
I'm guessing that's Alexander.
That's right.
Got it.
And feel free to email me about all of this stuff because it sounds like a lot of fun and y'all are like the coolest commission.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're just saying that because you're a little bit of.
We all like it.
Y'all do fun stuff.
All right, good, thank you very much. Okay, so if we don't have any more, questions, ladies and gentlemen, for, Xander, I'm gonna go ahead and tell them to leave.
It's been a pleasure, y'all. I always like coming. We'll do it.
Nice to meet you, Xander.
You know, a little time, we appreciate it, we know that's how it's been a long day.
Anytime. Just let me know. And then if y'all do want to talk about social media next time, we can get with Allison. She's our new,
That's right, we got a new person.
exactly, she's our new communications manager. And I feel like this would be great for her to come down and we'll send you all of our social media policies and all of that as well.
Okay, cool, so meeting will be on next
Yeah, you'll have a great night.
Thank you. All right then. All right then, so as we move along,
I'm gonna make it better time. Look at how weirdly imbalanced.
Yeah.
Outside.
Come on, just equalize the feng shui of the room.
I'm gonna leave my brain.
I think we can see everybody.
At least this way you won't be gorging yourself on the mixed nuts this time.
Okay. All right then, so, as we're moving on down the agenda, oh, by the way, this, what you gave me is not any different than what we already had. That's new.
Kristen, you got the page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it, thank you. All right,
So just, that's the one that needs to get signed.
Just give me a second. One second, and then get that out of the way. Okay, so now we're looking at the chair's report. And I can start off by saying that our new name, Arts, with an S, and Cultural Commission was approved by City Council. If you have to take out the media.
So the only thing that happens, that needs to happen now is it's gonna go, the ordinance is gonna go in front of the council next time, but they have approved it, and it's not a controversial measure. So the official, like, go ahead will happen next time. We can start using the language,
Okay,
but the official changeover won't happen until next time they meet.
to the next, oh, I didn't realize it needed.
Yeah, they're gonna, because, yeah, they're gonna have the ordinance brought up and then they'll vote on it and then it'll be done.
Okay, I heard him say that, but I didn't.
So they all approved it,
Yeah.
and so it's moving to ordinance, yeah.
Okay, because I remember when he asked Jerry, he said something, the mayor said something about staff go ahead and take care of that, but he lost me at that
Yeah,
point.
that's the extra jargon that was getting thrown around.
Okay, normally something like this goes real quick, right? But those of you that were in the room, there was stuff going on at that city council meeting and stuff that should have been done at the very front, because I was took less than 10 minutes to do. We got put behind somebody that took almost an hour or so, and anyway, it was a long time. It wasn't until like 8:30 that they got to this piece that we should have been like at 7:10, so, I don't know, it's all done. All right, so with that in mind, I just wanted to say we're good on that. They thought it was a great idea. Actually, the city councilman, has already contacted me, asking me about in regards to culture, something that he wanted to see for next year in regards to Indigenous Peoples Month, which happens to be this month of November. So we'll talk about that at another time. But they had all these bright ideas based on that new name. Okay, next thing is the market day. We had one on November the 12th. There's another one on December the 10th. By the way, I did get the dates for market days 2023.
Perfect.
And I must have not sent it to you.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's okay, that's okay.
It's coming your way, that you can get a look to see how things work out, and having a conversation with them. They're pretty much going, they originally said they were gonna try to do a January to December market day. They changed their mind. They're gonna do a June to December. So some of them are already taken up in regards to a theme, others are not. But I'll send it to you because that's the initial department, and you can work on that. Just let me remind everybody of that one. I've not done much with the Art Commission, Parks Board, and Library Board, and us joining, have a joint meeting together, because they're not meeting anymore until the new year.
Well, I was gonna say, I can say that as far as those three boards go, it's the library board is on the second Thursday, then it's ours, and then the fourth one is parks. So it's staggered like that.
Okay.
So we'd have to, yeah, we're the third,
Third Thursday, the library is.
second, and the parks,
No, library
Thursday.
is third Tuesday.
no, library board is the second Thursday,
The second Thursday, really third Thursday.
and then parks is the fourth Thursday.
Okay, and it doesn't look like those two groups are meeting anymore until the first of the year. I went looking on the website and didn't find another date there.
Look, I haven't posted it for the library.
Are they meeting in December?
Well, the library board is,
Okay.
but they better be, because Colleen will meet him,
Oh, yeah, later.
the new director, yeah. so.
Okay, anyway, I'm still working on that, have that joint, just wanted to let you know that. And then, our next meeting is scheduled for December the 15th, and my question is, do we want to have a December meeting for the Arts and Cultural Committee? I put that before the body.
I'm open either way. I think December is a difficult month, and I'll be honest. It's just, there's always so much going on.
There is.
So I would say I'm of two minds. We have a lot that we need to get done. So it seems like it would be a good idea, but at the same time, it might just be overloading a month that's already really full of things anyway.
And I guess what do we have on the next agenda? Is it something that can wait till January?
Good.
Or
I mean, everything can.
We've always got stuff on.
I would almost say let's just skip December and just start fresh in January.
Should be the third Thursday in January. All right, it's so different, you guys.
I don't know, what do y'all?
They pay me either way, so.
I'm on the fence, but I'm so busy, like, I totally understand.
Okay, so let's go with
Yeah,
I'm so
we can do
busy,
this.
that place.
Melanie, what do you think?
Either way, it doesn't matter with me, you know, if we decide to, I'll go.
Stephanie?
I'm not busy in January, December.
You're out of school now, so you guys are coming.
Okay.
All right, ladies, what do you think? What's your thoughts on us meetings, Liz and Vicky, on December, having a December meeting or just canceling and going to January? Y'all both on mute, so unmute yourselves.
I'm fine to meet in, December, but if the group, it's better for the group to wait till January.
Well, remember also, you just need 4 people to have a quorum.
Oh, that's right, one
So you don't have to have everybody here.
meeting.
Because it sounds like we could probably have 4 people and we don't, it doesn't have to be a long meeting either.
It's too far.
It could just be a touch-in meeting, just say, hey, here's the progress getting made.
Maybe we'll just make it really short.
Can we do it just a short meeting?
Why don't we just have a party?
I wish we could. Can we bring food?
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, so it sounds like, Liz, what you chiming in on?
She gave
I
thumbs
just
up.
said, I'm cool with it, whatever you hear, but yeah, I prefer a shorter meeting.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna have a December 15th meeting. And typically, as I told you guys in an email, I make the agenda based on what we say in the minutes that we're gonna hit next, right? So as of right now, the only thing we talked about that we need to be looking at, but we haven't gone all the way through the agenda yet, is talking about social media. But we could technically move social media to January because we're working on the website right now.
We want to talk about the logo.
We want to talk about the logo, okay?
I think we won't have to talk very much about social media. It's really about looking at the policy. So I'll just have it printed out of the social media policy for the city. And then we'll have the line item of like Rachel telling us what's the process. And that can be as easy as that.
And I'm good with looking at social media again in January.
Let's do social media in January, then.
Okay.
Have her in January, our meeting.
And then because right now, we got to be working on the website,
He can't work on the logo until January anyways, and that.
Right, so that's how we do that.
Right, he said he couldn't get to the logo until January, but, Vicky did say she wanted us to submit the stuff to us, to her, so she can kind of get the ducks in a row.
You're right, he can't get to the logo until January, but I don't want to wait till the third week to give him stuff to have. I want him to be able to come to us the third week with some ideas or questions to come back and forth. I'm just afraid if we keep kicking a can down the road on the logo, it's gonna be March.
Yeah, no, we're.
So everybody get their logo Pinterest board together for the next meeting. We'll have our aesthetic.
All right, so we have a meeting on,
That's cool.
December 15th, same bat time, same bat channel.
Mhm.
And one thing we have on there is the agenda, on the agenda will be logo that maybe will be kind of cool, entertaining. Okay, that's my, chair report. We're gonna go to, unless anybody have a question.
I'll just have the social media policy sent out to everybody. Won't worry about that.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, then that's electronically perfect, okay? All right, did y'all hear what Michael said? He's gonna send the social media policy to us electronically. And we can move from there. Okay, unfinished business. Remarks in regards to the website. Liz, is there anything else you want to add to us about website? You want to give us a deadline? You want to give us any kind of information? What's your next move, anything like that?
I'm just gonna build an outline, so that way I can come to the December meeting, just showing you all the outline of what I'm thinking after I connect with Xander.
Okay, sounds good, thank you, ma'am.
Don't make her talk anymore.
So,
You're not talking. Vicky, anything you want to add, because you already told us about what you wanted in regards to the logo, you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay, good, thank you, ma'am. Moving on down the list, the agenda list, Melody, you want to give us any more information about the quilt show, how did it go?
In this past meeting on Monday night, we got information about the success of the show. It's very successful. We had more than 300 people going through in the 2 days, which is about twice as what we've had in previous years.
Really?
And a lot of that had to do, they got a lot of feedback from people that they saw it on the city calendar, which is great.
Okay.
So that's what we were hoping for.
Okay.
Our raffle quilts did really well, and the main moneymaker at our quilt show is the boutique. People buy stuff that we made and things like that. I don't know how many people, went by and saw everything and spent their money. But we made like over $1,900 there at the boutique. It's just the boutique, but it's And that was like really, and all the money that we do come, it all goes back out. All goes back out to the community.
Wait, is there a cat out there?
Oh,
No, that's not cool. It all goes back into, we donated to various, organizations and, to, help the communities. That just helps do better.
All right, well, I am glad that that was a success.
It was very successful.
And I'm glad that, us tagging along with you guys kind of push things up a little bit. I'd like to, ask that you go back to your group and talk, what else would we do for next year? Say, like, if we want to put this on our agenda, do we want to endorse the quilt show? There wasn't a whole lot on our part, but there was a project of ours, we didn't talk a lot, because anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, being able to get the information and advertisement up in a timely manner. What else could we possibly do that you want to bring back to the commission next year saying, we'd like you all to do this, if that's the case, we can talk.
Okay.
and it just goes to show that the commission already has reach, right? So that means that could really impact an artist's work or the visibility of artists or projects. So that's good to hear.
Yeah. Okay. All right, any other questions about quilt show from anybody? Okey dokey, so let's now talk about the correspondence that Stephanie was going to read. One was a response letter, when we get, either an email or someone coming and ask for something, Stephanie was gonna work on that. And then she's also working on an application for somebody if they were applying for, if they were applying to.
If they were planning, like, they want us to improve their art, like mural, something like that.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
So the response letter, I typed that up and I sent it to you, and I don't know if it was printed out, do we have it?
I did print it out.
No, okay. I sent it to everyone, but basically I was just putting what you were already telling people and everyone's comments. I have it in front of me. I can send it to you again.
Let's see.
Get it out. But I also made that application on Google Form and I made everyone an editor.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to keep it on a Google Form, to be honest, but I think just for now, it would be good, so we can all edit it and make our little changes, but, basically, I just had basic information, email name, phone number, their website, what kind of category their art would fit in, a picture, a diagram of their art, describing what they want to see from their piece, total cost, size and dimension, if they're willing to collaborate with another artist, if they produced art on commission before, if they discussed this project with another board or commission, if they have a possible location, if they own that location, and just a resume and possible recommendations. And do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I see. It was you sent me the permissions to see it, right? I see it.
So this is for artists who are submitting mural work.
I think it's any kind of art piece that they want for consideration for a public art.
Because we were getting a lot of those emails and it was kind of just like we would discuss it here. And I was also thinking that to have like with this application, like this is like their first step. And then after they fill this out, we won't talk about it until they give like an in-person presentation. Because I feel like we get a lot of those applications that it's kind of like, well, are they very sure that they want this here?
No,
I feel like we should put like a call out, like when we're ready, that we put like a call out for various like specific.
I think so too. I just know that, like, I've applied one time to do a mural in San Marcos, and that's what they do. They show the building, they show the size, they show like what they're looking for, and then there's like an application, and then you send in what your proposal is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a casting
So
call.
like each call, like artist call that we have, I think we should have like a different application. Like if we're looking for an artist for our spotlight, we should have one.
Yes, I was thinking that would be more general information about what they
Right, yeah, no.
do, as opposed to trying to get something.
Yeah.
I will say that the part of this that I was interested in was are you interested in being added to the Art Commission's personal network of artists? So the idea of like sending out a call saying, we're going to talk about more about the artist community, but sending out a call like, hey, do you want to be part of this? Then send us your information. But I kind of agree with you that it should be more specific to a project or a place where it's not just, hey, artists,
You have like 1,000 people.
because we already have emails, right? So,
Great start though, like,
Yeah.
I just think to kind of table it until we figure out a little bit more about what we're looking for, but I think that it's a great start to thinking like, okay, what do we want to put in things and how do we want to set it up?
And I like the format too for artists who do want to get into a networking group, maybe just kind of separating the questions a little bit from a specific project to like the more general, what do you do in the arts and
Mhm.
how do you want to connect with other people in the community maybe?
and this,
Several applications or like.
Yeah, I was like, we can't figure out what we want until we figure out what we.
Well, the other thing too, guys, I think is that we have somewhat of a template here.
Yeah.
That we
Yeah,
can table.
well, that's good.
And then when something comes up, we'll pull up this template and dock it and say, okay, well, yeah.
no, I agree, yeah.
I think that that's the best way to do it.
I love it.
And
Like questions
I
for
think
everyone.
it'll probably look similar to the process of applying to be on the boards, which is like, we get a pool, and then we look at the pool for the people who fit the best criteria, and then we go to those people.
Right.
And that's not always up. It's up when you want it to be up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would then, I think, address what you're saying, Carol, in regards to, now it's up because we're taking application, now it's
During
down.
during this period,
And
it
then
could
we
apply.
tweak it as we need be, because we're asking for this wall at this building at this time, and now we're asking for this billboard at that time, but we've got something.
But at least we have something to go from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I read it.
And it may be that we could connect to the actual mechanical like process that they use to get applications for the board, where we can take in a bunch of applications and look at them
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're,
Yeah.
through the HR portal that they use, that, because they have it broken down by group. And so if we could have a different category that's artists, and the application is using so a lot of that language you're using, I'll look into that on the HR side of things.
Stephanie, was part of your reason for creating that because of like inquiries, are you wanting, maybe if we want to do a more specific form later on, but for this, are you wanting a place so people can inquire versus like emailing?
Yeah, like what I was thinking is we were getting emails and we were discussing like every email and inquiry at our meetings, and I was thinking that this would be a better way to organize it and have it so we can see in the future who's actually like wanting their murals approved, because some of them, I believe it was one they wanted to put it on the garage.
Yeah.
It was like their personal mural, and it's like, that's not really something that we're wanting to do, but maybe that one person has that inquiry. It's kind of like personal.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, this is an outline in the website, and I definitely think that that's a good point of like a place for this to be a little efficient of grabbing it, because they might not want to search for an email, but if there's a form on the website that they can easily put an inquiry regardless of what it is, whenever we're ready to make the specific applications, we'll have their information anyways and can send that to different people along with the call. But I think that that's a good way to, I wonder if I can talk to Xander about how we can take in that information, have it housed, and then that way we like have it ready to discuss at the meetings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I'll make sure to include that.
But technically, we've had 3 inquiries within the past month. 2 were for murals, and then the third one was about smoking. I I haven't responded to that third one yet on the sculpture, and I'll use the letter to do that. Just basically, one of the big things that it says in the letter, the response letter is that, come to one of our meetings. We're asking you to come to one of our meetings. The person has a piece of sculpture already out now in the city, and he was asking about putting up another piece. Park Department sent him to us. And, so the idea that, yeah, we're in the fullness of time, we're gonna get to that. And so I have not responded to him yet. I'll use the letter to do it, double and say, we're strongly encouraging people to come on our meetings, sit down and listen to us. And then at that point, I'm doing the time of citizen comment, saying, I'm such and such, and I'm interested in doing a mural, I'm interested in doing a sculpture, et cetera, and then we can have information and move on from there. And then when we get to the point where because we did say we're gonna talk about murals, we're gonna table it right now, because we got a couple of places that's not top on our list right at the moment, we got this other things in place, and, but there will be a time when we're gonna need folks to come forward and say, what you got, if you're interested.
And if anyone's curious, that the sculpture that's up is at the corner of Center Street and 150 at Vaqueros. It's right at the corner there.
Oh,
It's
yes.
the
and
moving.
Yeah,
Benjamin
the
Drive.
guy there's a guy out of North Carolina who does a bunch of whirly gigs like that.
This guy's local, he lives here. Okay. All right then, moving along. Thank you, Stephanie. The response letter, we're ready to go with that, and then the application is a template that will be used in the future. Okay, moving on. We have the community theater project. Brooke, what you got? What do you?
Okay, so, we thank you, Michael, for getting all the information about the pack. I'm not sure if you read the email.
I read a lot of things. So.
Okay, so the cost is around $1,800 a day, which is not including like security for parking and things like that. So, I mean, we're looking upwards of like $2,000 a day to do it. If we're gonna put on a big performance, that means that we don't wanna do it once, right? So the idea is to do it probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Saturday, Sunday with a matinee and something else. So just thinking off the top of my head, if that's 5 days, that's close, a little over $10,000 that it's gonna cost just to rent a pack. That leaves us, I mean, what I'm just was trying to like put the budget together and figure it out as far as like how it goes, right?
A bit of a smaller show than you were thinking, maybe, or not. Right?
No, I don't, that's what I'm
Okay.
throwing out, just like costs and things like that. Then we have to think about what type of performance we want to do. We've got to think about like set design. The pack is not a small stage, so to have the sets all done would also be several $1,000s. Costuming as well. I mean, once you've got a great space and a great set, you definitely don't want to send your actors and actresses out in rags. Unless you're doing Annie, in which case that would work.
Faithful route.
Yes. So there's a lot to take into consideration, and I just wanted to put that out there, as the idea. Then you have a director that you have to pay. Directors run about $5,000 or $5,000 to hire a director.
For the whole thing.
For the whole thing, yes, for the whole thing.
And you need a lot of lead time. 'Cause-
Actually, not too bad.
Oh, yeah?
As far as lead time goes, not too bad. I have a couple directors that are interested in doing it, that they're available at that time. The PAC says if we're doing it in September, it's kind of what we talked about. Everybody's back from school, but that's a great time as far as the PAC is concerned because school functions and band things haven't started yet. So it's a great time to do it.
I guess I misread their email because I thought they were like, you need to start scheduling it now.
Yeah, they sort of were.
Okay.
Yeah, they sort of were like, let us know now. They also said there is the potential because we are the city, if we are like, hey, this is what we've got, that they might actually cut us a little bit of a break here and there as far as things go. So those are just things to think about. So as far as the budget goes, I know that we had originally in the meeting minutes put somewhere between 20 and 30. I really do see that at the higher end if we are going to be doing a larger production.
Well, I thought, did we say it was 25? We gave you initially 25,000.
Yeah, it was in that range.
It was, yeah, they just said 20 to 30.
I thought about,
Yeah.
looking at what we had about a third of it basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And that, yeah, and so that was the top, that was for you to get jumped off from.
Okay,
We didn't do
yeah.
it, nothing we could.
No worries, that's why I just wanted to do some research and come back. The other thing that, that I had talked to several people just here and there about is that the idea of doing it, a lot of people said like, they really want something that's more geared towards adults, high school and above, rather than like a Disney performance. Like they don't, a lot of people don't want to come out and see Finding Nemo. Like there's a lot of theater out there for children already, and the idea is to do something that's not for children. The other thing is this, I think that we need to make a decision as to like, do we want to do a musical or do we want to do a play? Because there's a very big difference in those. And I think that, that as a commission, if we decide kind of which one we want to do, then I can go out and be like, okay, here's a list. Like we had talked about a variety of different musicals last time, but like Chicago's already being put on in Austin right now. And like, there's a couple of them that are local and we don't want to redo one that's been done recently in another area that's close by. Like Clue, the play Clue would be great, super fun. However, they just put that on in like the New Braunfels area recently,
And
so.
it's very different groups of people that you're going to.
Exactly, yeah.
I like the idea of doing an adult play, not a musical. They're coming through, you know, we got the center over at UT, musicals are constantly coming through, that sort of thing. I've not in this area gone to a play that is focused on adults, you know, I don't mean X-rated and anything like that.
No, yeah, I know, I
You know,
get it. They have like community theater, young adults, kind of, this is
Right.
not for middle school. I mean, you could bring your middle schooler, but it wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah,
it's not targeted.
it's not a kid thing, they're doing that in Utah now continuously, the kid thing, the Nemo, and Dr. Seuss, not anything like that.
Right, okay, so a little bit on, and here's the other question, is do we want to do something that's a little bit more like, fantasy, sci-fi? Well, how about this? How about I just find a bunch of different ones? I find some comedies, I find some dramas, I find some like kind of fantasy ones. We put them together, I give you a summary of each of them, and then we give the commission to
that'd
determine
be
which
cool.
play. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
there's lots of them out there.
And I'm so sorry, I had to call in on my phone, because of internet issues, but, and I don't know if y'all have discussed this before, so I apologize. Are people for it? And if so,
Yes.
what do we do with the money? Does that go back into our regular business file, or would that technically mean that we would make back some of our budget? Because we'll be at the end of our fiscal year.
Yes, my understanding is that, yes, that we will charge for tickets. I think that we should also, like donate some out into the community and, you know, offer some as like raffles maybe to schools or PTA to give away.
What if we donate a percentage of it back to,
Different nonprofits in the area.
give it to the school district as a
It'd be great if you could
percentage?
donate to the theater
To the
department.
theater department.
There's theaters in
and
every high school and
they're gonna
middle school.
take a cut on using the PAC. We're gonna give them a percentage of it, something like that. But yeah, we're definitely charging.
Yeah, we won't come to things that are free.
Donations that are. Like if you, sorry, I didn't talk all that. If you donate canned goods, maybe we can stock some of the food pantry right now. That way we don't have to worry about the cash passing through us. Especially when, like I said, we're at the end of the fiscal year. So maybe there's some other workarounds we can talk about.
I would say for that, more fitting would be if they bring receipts of donations to the food bank. Because the food bank would rather have money. So if they give a cash donation to the food bank and then bring, that's like a
A
ticket.
lot of time to figure that
Yeah,
out.
it's really good.
Yeah, but I think that those are all good things that we should definitely consider, but right now we gotta figure out. The what.
Let's have the product before we figure out the price.
So that's pretty much everything I have as far as that goes. Again, like everything else was, we really just need to figure out dates and reserve those with the PAC. And then we need to pick shows. And then hopefully our website, our social media and everything like that will be up and we can make all kinds of announcements to get people in and auditioning and things like that. Okay,
How about this? Let's look at a date. We talked about September.
yeah, if I can get dates into the PAC right now, at least tentative, that would be best.
Yeah, that's what we're
I
doing.
don't have a calendar because I left my, I'm going in on one today because I didn't have a calendar.
So calendar,
September 1st. Oh, there we go. All right, so September 1st is Friday.
And we've got Labor Day in there too.
yeah, that's,
Four.
So school's already closed. I almost wonder if that's like not a fantastic
yeah, maybe.
day to like do a matinee or something on the, I don't know. Okay, scratch that. Everyone's looking at me bad.
So we're talking of doing a Friday night, a Saturday night, and a Sunday matinee? I'm throwing that on the table. What are we talking?
Yes, I think that those are probably the best way to go, Friday night, Saturday night. Sometimes people will do 2 shows on a Sunday, they'll do a matinee
And
and
the evening show?
an evening show. But right now, I think we should just figure out a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then if we need to cut a day, we can cut a day. But better to have more and cut back.
So what about the 16th, 17th, and 18th? I'm sorry, 15th, 16th, 17th?
Right in the middle.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Honestly, I think a lot of people will probably, having it later in September will probably be a better way to go.
So you're looking at the 22nd, 23rd, 24th? Or,
That's it. I mean, if that seems like,
Well, and also, if you're thinking about that, that's the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, so that might inject some topics for what the play could be.
so Hispanic Heritage Month starts on September 15th.
oh, okay.
So just thinking about, we always, at the library, always think about holidays and what's going on, and so,
Robert
Just-
Sana is also on the 15th,
there you go.
just in case we wanted to do something.
So anyways, you know,
Yeah, no, very good.
But what about the 22nd, 23rd, 24th? 22nd, Thursday,
I think
Friday?
15, 16, 17, and then 22, 23, 24 sounds good right now. I don't,
let's take a look at this.
Two weekends?
yeah, you want to do it 2 weekends. Yeah. Because you want to do the first weekend and then people can tell other people like, oh, we have to do that, we should do that. Weekend.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, let's do that. If a director comes in and says, no, let's not do a second week, let's just do one, I'll be like, okay,
Okay.
I'll learn.
That's what we call a tentative date.
Okay.
So they can just pencil it in for.
Okay, so we're gonna do September 15, 16, 17, and then we're gonna look at 22, 23, 24.
So FYI, the money that we're going to be using, that we're getting 65,000 is part of the hot fund. And with that in mind, hot funds mean that we're creating some kind of venue that will attract people to come in and bring in money. So the idea that people come in for one of these weekends from wherever, they may stay in a hotel, there's revenue coming in, food, et cetera, restaurants and that kind of thing like that. That's what the hot funds for. Because once we put this together and we submit it to city council, they're gonna say what's gonna happen because of this. And we're gonna have to list all of the things that's gonna happen, the revenue coming in, people coming in from other cities, people may be staying at the hotel, we're doing an adult, theater, that sort of thing like that. So that just give you a heads up of that. They'll need to know that kind of information, because ultimately they have to approve this for us to go forward with it, so we getting all the tailoring and stuff
No,
done.
and this is a great way to use hot funds, because it's
Yeah,
not really coming to bring.
Especially for a multi-day
Yeah.
thing. So it's like people come in and go to a hotel, or they go to the restaurants, and they do all that stuff around it.
We need some more restaurants.
Yes.
They're building.
They're coming, they're coming.
Okay, that's everything I have as far as the play goes. Oh, one more thing, sorry. I was trying to think up fun names, and I came up with the name Kyle Area Spotlight Theater Cast.
Huh? Nice.
Join the cast.
Ah, I see.
Oh.
Yeah, not the cast, yeah, okay. Anyway, always happy to take suggestions on the theater name. Clearly, I was not the most remarkable moment there, but we're getting there. Gotta get it out
I
there.
got a minor pop.
Yeah.
I was like,
All right.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, good, thank you. We will look for more info. Thank you very much. All right, we're gonna move on to Ms. Monroe.
Okay, so about the Arts Festival / Market Day project that's coming up in the spring. So far, I'm just now getting connected with Parks and Rec, and just like you said, with the dates, so we can find out what's going to be the best weekend for that to happen. I'm hoping March or April. I think April might be better for weather than March, but, just kind of, I gotta see what's going on with them, and then I'll know more in December about what dates.
Amy Garcia is who you want to talk to at Parks.
Okay.
I got her connected with the director, with Mariana.
Mariana, yeah.
So then she- yeah.
All right, okay.
So that's the name I knew. So then she'll get you connected with.
Yeah.
with Amy.
It'll be Amy. It was doing that, because if it was something directly in regards to the event, that would be cheaper. But for something like this, if you're looking for, it would be Amy to start off with. And it's AIMEE, Amy Garcia. Actually got a number on my phone, I'll give it to you in a minute.
Okay.
All right, and you can chit chat with her or not. She'll pull a couple of others in there, but she's just the fifth thing, it'll be Amy.
Okay.
All right.
And then, I'm currently researching and connecting with different areas that have already had chalk festivals to see how they reach out to artists, to see if they sponsor the supplies, if artists bring their own, to see if there was a prize given for the best chalk and how all that works. So I'll have more information on that in December too, just what a basic outline would be for the festival and for getting people involved. And then I already have 8 vendors who are interested that are artisans. And of course, I'm always looking, oh, thank you. Always looking for more, but I just happen to be collecting business cards as I'm going to different, area events in Kyle and around. Thank you. And, that's it. I really want to talk to Amy Garcia to see if we can even have more food vendors than are usually there and see how big we can make Market Day in the space that we have, if we can go out to more streets and what all that entails.
Oh, which place would she think would be better if we want to use the park?
Yes.
That park, which park would
Hey,
you want?
where do we have sidewalks?
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question. Do you need to be on the December agenda?
Yeah, I can give a quick update.
All right.
I'll just give a quick update.
Because that, by that time, you'll have seen the calendar.
Yes, I'll know the calendar, I'll have a better idea of what's going on and how we can reach out to the artists.
All right, thank you very much, ladies.
That's
All
that.
right, and, reception, Brooke.
Okay, so Tara and I went out and looked at one spot, which is pretty cool. However, I started looking at other places, they're listed in my phone, which is in my car, but one of them is like, the Magnolia House, the Maison. It's the city owns the house and they do reception.
It's certainly possible.
I'm just staring at you like, you know everything about the city. Okay. I don't remember, it starts with the letter N, it's a house that the city owns, they do events and things.
I can look into it more, but
Yeah.
if you saw it.
I will, I don't know. I can see it in my head.
It's over here in the city of Dallas.
Yeah, it's in Kyle. Anyway, so, but I was wondering what our budget is as far as that goes, because like, I was just trying to figure out where we're at as far as like, how many people we think we're gonna invite, how are we gonna invite people? Are we gonna just put a call out in the city and be like, artists come out? Or are we gonna, is it gonna be like invite only, like, here's a 50 invitations for you, 50 for you, 50 for you, 50 for you, and then like go hand them out to people, or?
That might be a good way to get started. I don't know, how big of an event it's gonna be if we want to open it up to.
Well, how big is the venue, first of all?
I don't know, we don't have it.
Well, it's look-
Because even the one that we looked at, we talked about.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, where is that at?
I was looking it up too, and since.
Thank you. And I mean,
It's on, it's really close to the library, actually.
Yeah, it says it's on Old Stagecoach.
Oh,
I think it's in that area that they just agreed to develop.
oh, okay.
The location accommodates 150 people.
so here's the other thing, is this in my mind, I had envisioned like 5 to 8, drop in, come by, fill out something in the computer, our commission people are there, we say hello, they come, they mingle, they leave. I've got the wine, here's an apple juice, whatever, it just, and then they leave, and it's sort of just, we're not doing anything like formal, it's just more of our logos, we've got a banner hung up, we're gonna have some flyers printed out. Kind of thing.
Well, I think what immediately came to my mind is like about $1,000 to spend on this event, and that would include food and others and like drinks
That should be,
at the venue.
Another,
any price on there? I mean,
I found it.
You
Oh,
got,
no, sorry, Vicky, please, go ahead.
what you got?
Yeah, no, so
Sorry, y'all, I thought I was on mute.
it says 2,900 per weekday.
$29.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the tables and the setup in 10 hours. I am sure,
For a
I can
weekday?
imagine that they have a lot of events on weekdays, since they're really designed for
$150.
weekend kind of events. I'm sure there could be a deal.
Wow.
another,
The pack.
another thing I would say is, we've had events at the train depot before.
Oh, let's do the train people, that's a fun.
That's a
place.
pretty intimate place, it's pretty, like, it's a pretty small setting.
Let's go there and do it, that's
But
like,
they-
the tile train, it's like, yeah, right there.
Right on the, yeah,
There's like a little room,
Yeah, it's really nice, it's cute.
yeah, like,
It's intimate and nice. And
when,
there's no
when,
reason.
when we would do events that
Yeah.
had like alcohol, for instance, we can't do it here, so we would have it at the train depot.
Okay, so
And how many people think are there?
Not a ton, but
Did you say like 100 people in the room at one time? Or
you imagine like a couple of rooms, this and then another one of half this size.
At most, we've had, we've had 125 in
I
there.
think 70 to 80 would be comfortable.
If you're looking at the whole space, because it's a museum too, there's a front room where you can have something set up, and then you come through, and then there's a middle section, and the back section is completely open.
it's
So,
not,
and you got 2 doors to come in and out of.
that's a great idea.
And especially if the weather's nice and you could be out on the,
Outside area.
Platform.
and there's that grassy area right
Yeah.
next to this. So I mean, you could really spread out and have a lot of,
Certainly, you
Maybe
can
it's January, right?
February.
And then we were also thinking about having like a couple laptops set up that artists could register.
I agree.
And
So
then
we'll have that
you can help us with the work for that, and you
Okay.
can just kind of come in and
Put your information,
drop their,
say hello.
maybe drop their business card or something. Mhm.
I even thought we could do like kind of, I don't know.
we got some cool options, I think.
Yeah, I think the train depot is a fantastic idea.
Okay, so tell me a date.
We just get it and fake it.
Get that on the calendar.
Take it by force.
That's a good one. What I like about it, because I was really thinking of something very central, connected to the city.
Yeah, I like that
The
too.
park is enough to go up and down the street.
And, well, not only that, but there's like the parking on the other side of the VFW, on the other side of the street, and people just walk over.
I was thinking February was my idea originally. I'm open though, if y'all think that it would be better the first week of March, or if you think we should do it in January, like the end of January, well, football.
Well, I guess it also really depends on what kind of February we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always stay away from February because they're too iffy. A February could be a full snow out, and then a February could be 70 degrees, you just never.
March might work.
I like you said March though, the first week of March.
Okay.
If we look at, March 1st is on a Wednesday.
Right, are we doing this a weekend or are we doing it a weekday? Cause I sort of like the idea of like a afternoon-ish,
So like on a
Saturday.
Saturday
Or
afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, like afternoon on a Sunday, I don't know.
If you wanna do it Saturday, you're gonna have to wait till after 2 o'clock because the depot is open for traffic for visitors from 10 to 2.
Right, no, I was
So,
thinking something.
perfect.
4 to 6 or something.
Yeah, 4 to 6 or, you
How
know,
much prep time you gonna need to get set up before?
I'm not saying this is something like really like massive. I'm saying really low key, a couple tables,
Yeah.
hors d'oeuvres set out.
Bluetooth speaker.
Local chefs to make some cookies or something like that and bring.
4 to 7?
Music on speaker.
That could
I
certainly
mean, a
happen.
previous jacket.
4 to 7?
Just live performance.
What?
I like 4 to 7,
I like 4 to 7.
because that gives a lot of options for people.
What was the date you were looking at?
That would be February, that'd be March.
Spring break is the 13th, so not the 13th.
March
Not that one.
March 4th?
March 4th.
I think they're not something.
Is that?
That's a Saturday. That's a Saturday.
Oh, is that okay?
What do y'all think?
Weekday or weekend? The next weekend is spring break for
Yeah.
all of,
That's what she said.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
But Saturday or Sunday? Because Sunday you can bump it up a little earlier.
We also,
Sunday people have a lot of family obligations.
and it's artists, you don't want to make them get up too early.
Well, I think 4 to 7 on a Saturday is before you like go out and you do it before you have dinner.
After you've
So-
recovered from Friday
At
night.
the next meeting, I can give you a confirmation on the deal.
Okay.
So you have the connection too, okay, good.
Yeah, I got the easy in.
March
That's what I'm
4th,
saying, it's like a real problem.
Saturday, March 4th, and we said 4 to 7.
4 to 7. All I have to do is just basically tomorrow, either the night or tomorrow, just call.
And we can just rent some tables.
Yeah, we had a Christmas party there, it was really nice.
Yeah, they got tables and
Do
chairs.
they have the cloths and stuff or no? Oh, and we can make centerpieces?
Quilted centerpieces?
I like the quilted
I was like, did you think that I was?
Yeah, I don't, if you think about, they have just the long 6-foot tables and chairs, but once you start putting that in, you reduce the number of people.
No, I just want this lived standing tables.
Tables to put food and stuff on,
Yes,
we have those.
that's it.
Yes,
I don't, and people can, I want things people can pick up and eat.
okay. And
You want people moving around, yeah.
So then by next meeting, can we decide how we want to invite people? Can everybody come up with a suggestion?
Come with an idea, yeah, how are we gonna do invitation?
All right, I will keep up.
Is it the whole city? Or is it private invite only? Which is like private invite, like invite someone and have them invite someone else.
Yeah, I think I like that. Invite friends.
All right.
anything.
Send out a chain letter.
We are moving along.
Post a flyer.
That's all I have as far as that goes. But we can have alcohol there, that's right, and we could get some wine and beer and.
There's a refrigerator, a small kitchen, so sink and that kind of thing like that.
Right, I'm hoping that it'll just be trays, people can just bring in trays of food,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna be.
Right, leave it on the table. That's what we typically do. We have stuff catered out. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm always there on every week, there's something going on. That's why I want to get it on calendar,
Okay.
because it goes very quickly.
No, that sounds perfect, thank you very much.
All
It's gonna be
right.
great,
Yeah.
we're gonna have our t-shirts by then with our logo on it.
What teachers is the first time that?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything we have on unfinished business. Is there any new business that we have at this time?
Not from my side.
Okay, moving us along. All right, update. Just want to let everybody know that the Hayes County Historical Commission is now accepting applications for its commission. It's a 2-year term. It starts January 1st, 2013, and it goes to December 31st, 2014. This is for the county, and the bigger part of it is the historical perspective, and it also looks at the culture. There's events and whatnot. You can go on the website if you're interested in that particular agency. It's countywide. They like to fill it with folks from different cities, so all different cities are represented in that particular group. So, you know, that's something to think about. We had one of our citizens here, Susan Rayner, and she was talking about the event this Friday evening at 7:30 at the Catherine Quarter. Something that we can support. It is a literary piece. They're having another author come in. It's like a reception, wine, cheese reception.
Yeah, we always usually post it up here too.
And then, the author will actually read a selection and then have a book signing. So if you guys can make that, please try to do so. The other thing I wanted to mention, and tonight they're actually starting a master plan meeting with the citizens. And it's focusing on the Kyle Downtown Master Plan. There's another meeting coming up on the 29th at 6:30 at City Hall. And they're asking for citizens' input of what downtown should look like. Seems though to me we gotta have a little something to do with that. They already have a culture perspective to it because of the park. And so, for instance, Hayes County Historical Commission has been playing a role in some of the cultural pieces that are downtown, how they can save some of the buildings, et cetera. But they're asking for citizens' input. Might be a nice place for us to be thinking about where we might want art. Yes?
I would love it if we, talked about, and definitely not this year, but maybe in our 3-year plan, if we talked about with the zoning commission of putting in a sculpture park, I think that that would be, like, I know that they have the Vibe Trail going, and they're looking at all of that, and maybe taking a section of it to do like a display where people can come, and I know that I go to other cities when I travel, and I'm always looking for outdoor like sculpture parks to walk around and look at sculptures and things like that. I think it's a great way to bring people in to the city.
I would probably say that they're gonna probably be knocking on outdoor art permission.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they sent me to Colorado, is to look at Grand Junction, because their main street is just littered with sculptures.
Yes.
And so having more, and some of them are for sale, which is pretty cool, so you
Yeah.
can look, so, you know, having that ability to get artists to come and give you, or sell you pieces that kind of are part of the city is very cool.
So the reason why I brought up the meeting, there's one tonight, there's one on the 29th, and then there's one more in December. And not only do you just get to go and listen, but Brooke, you could literally go and say, hey, I've got a great idea about such and such. They're taking those kind of comments from citizens. So that's why I want you to put it on your radar. We didn't hit this one before, so we're here, but there's 2 more coming that they're just asking for ideas. They're asking for visions and those kinds of things, and what you might want to add to it.
And
overall.
it would be more impactful, not just to say it there, but also to send something from the Arts and Cultural Commission to say, keep this in mind, a space for physical art.
Art, yeah. Okay, what days?
29th is.
Tuesday?
Yes,
Tuesday.
So good.
Memorize your calendar.
So anyway, I plan on going to the meeting on the 29th just to listen and then attend the next meeting, maybe with some suggestions, but I want to see the flow and that kind of thing like that. What, are they gonna have posters, with maps? Are they gonna have all those things with actual pinpoint and say, you know, this would look really good? So that's what I'm saying, put it on your radar, little guys, if you can, to just go check out and see what's going on. And it's, like I said, it's open to the community and it's open talking. You can actually say stuff, not just say, listen, all that.
Okay.
So, all right.
It goes, just say no more taco beds.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Come on, Pat.
Why do we need another taco bell? Anyway, for another time.
that was really exciting.
All right, then, the other thing. I
No,
want
it's right.
is, city council meetings for December, there's gonna be one on December 6th and December 20th. Just wanted to, I'm always putting those on your radar because sitting in there sometimes is a good way to hear about what's going on. I try and make them, and I always try to look at the agenda to see if we happen to be on the agenda. But sometimes they'll put something you can don't call and tell us. I've been on a project too when that has happened.
I will say that nowadays I will get told if we're on the agenda, so I can tell you that.
So you know it, okay. So, and citizens commenting is always at the beginning, and if you just have something you want to get off your chest, the first 15 minutes of city council, talk about whatever you want. We had Kate Johnson who was talking about that the trail that they're creating right now, there's an old historic well on that trail, and we need to do something with the well, with that well, the ELL, because it's history, and don't just cover it up and move on, but let's make something out of it. So you can always discuss on the show. And other than that, unless everybody else has everybody, dates, any announcements?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Perfect time.
All right. Ladies, y'all good?
Yes. Yes.
Please go to bed and let Evan get better.
Some hot tea.
Yeah, a little whiskey and honey in it.
Join the meeting.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I might just go on to that.
Good idea.
We'll join in the meeting, and it's almost 8:30, we're good to go, and hey, we'll keep it quick and short next time, wanna go do things? Y'all have a happy birthday.
Yeah, some red things.
Y'all have a good one.
Me too.